Alright guys, we're back with the third game of the day. Gonna have SGC taking on mTw of round number 3 of the losers bracket. Of course, we just saw Infused versus Ublis, and Infused obviously besting them here. So SGC, oh, excuse me, this is round 2, not round 3. Haha, I fixed it. Okay, so mTw and SGC is round 2. Round 3 will be the winner of this game going to take on Infused in round 3 of the losers bracket because Infused just beat Ublis there. Now I got it right. High five to myself. But once again, I want to thank you guys for joining us for this cast. My name is Draskyl. On behalf of NEODota.com, I would like to welcome you to this particular game. mTw once again taking on SGC for WCG/SEE at Gamescom in Germany. Or at Gamescom in Cologne, Germany. There we go. Going to see the Lone Druid first ban out here from mTw. SGC, balls down their court. We'll see what they want to do. And, of course, we saw SGC play already once today. They managed to take a game off of Eeriness on the back of 2 Legs of Shadow Fiend and a Darkseer pick as well that turned out to be pretty potent. And a Rubik, who was pretty good at stealing spells last time I heard. Brood, going to be banned out here by mTw very early on. Once again, that's the second time today I think we've seen a very early banned Brood. And, I mean, it kind of makes sense to a certain extent, but it's not a hero necessarily that you have to worry about so much if you have like heroes like Sand King, Tide, Sand King, Tide, and Darkseer in the pool. But Darkseer making it into, actually I think, both games, if I'm not mistaken, today so far. This will be the third game. Naga Siren actually going to be banned out by mTw, even though they are first pick. So that's a little bit interesting. SGC, now going to see what they're going to do. Darkseer is obviously probably going to be the choice that they take. They could ban out something like Nature's Prophet. If they wanted to, they could ban out Leshrac like we saw last game. First pick, though, once again going to mTw for this game. We'll see what SGC wants to do. They got 15 seconds left before they start cutting into their bonus time. And they're going to go ahead and take out Darkseer. So for the first time today, I think we're actually not going to see a Darkseer pickup. So first pick, once again, going to mTw. We'll see what they're going to go for here. And then it is going to be a Nature's Prophet. That hero is for so long been first pick material by many teams. Chen being banned out by SGC. We could see something like an Enchantress. Leshrac is here as well. And Enigma. Very strong pushing heroes still in the pool here for SGC to choose from. Or they could go a completely different route. I know we saw them play earlier. They picked Storm and Shadow Fiend on the same team and ended up working out pretty well for them. Here they're going to take Rubik and Leshrac. So that's a pretty common starting pick as well if you're dire side for the first two. Rubik, obviously a great support. We saw him play last game on Infused to pretty good success, I would say. And of course, Leshrac, pretty much good in any lineup no matter what because of his abilities. I mean, Edict can push towers. You have Pulse Nova, Split Earth, and Lightning with all sorts of just ridiculous AoE damage output. In general, that hero is just very, very strong no matter where you put him. Now mTw, balls back in their court. Already with a Furion. We'll see if they're going to be going for a global strat or, I mean, that's kind of just hopeful thinking. I don't really think they're going to be going for a full-fledged global strat. I did see EG run that, though, a couple of weeks ago in a tournament. I think they ran Zeus. They had Nature's Prophet and A or something like that. It was pretty wild. Oh, and Spectre. They went, like, full-on global. It was pretty cool to watch, and I actually think they ended up winning the game, which is a little bit unconventional. I mean, that's a really old-school Dota strat, but not something we typically see, as Enchantress is going to be picked up here by mTw. So that's going to be the Keep Bop Enchantress for sure. One more pick coming out from mTw for the first of this picking phase. And they're going to go with a Venom. So they don't have necessarily the strongest lanes in the world at the moment. Venomancer is a pretty good laner at low levels. He can do a decent amount of damage. He has a good slow. And Nature's Prophet can, of course, gank whatever lane he wants to. Enchantress can gank. They might be running an aggressive tri-lane with that Furion, making him able to teleport to a lane, turning it into a 4v3, things like that. It could be a very, very good situation for mTw, depending on how they lane it. We have seen mid-Nature's Prophet before. We see long lane Nature's Prophet quite often. I'd say that's probably the most common place that you do see him. Now, though, we're going to see what SGC wants to pick up here. They got one more pick in these first 6 coming out from both of these teams. Now we're going to go and get back into the second ban phase, and then, of course, 2 more after that from each team. We'll get the game started for you guys here as soon as we can. So after this game, again, we're going to be going to round number 3, where Infused is currently waiting for the winner of this game. Then after that, whoever gets knocked out of the winner's bracket and wins between the winner of this game and Infused goes on to the best of 3 for the loser bracket finals, which will be the potential last games of the day. So we still have quite a bit of Dota left to cast for you guys, as Sand King is going to be the last pick out here for SGC. And Sand King, I mean, that's a hero that people have prioritized highly. They kind of let it fall off now and then. It's kind of just like on a whim pick, I would say. Because of the fact they do have double stun, I can't help but think we were going to be seeing a Sand King Leshrac lane. That's just so common. Right now, mTw doesn't have a mid just yet. Maybe they're anticipating an Invoker pick, and wow, they're actually going to go ahead and ban out Keeper of the Light instead. I don't know if SGC is going to ban out the mids here. They should ban out, at the very least, one more support. They're going to ban out Juggernaut instead. And Juggernaut's a hero that maybe they just think that mTw would have ran here. Juggernaut, to a certain extent, in early game can be powerful. I know some teams actually ran him in the past and leveled up Healing Ward and Spin. And Healing Ward helps your push just so much. If you win like any team fight early, you can just assume that a tower is going to die because none of the creeps and the heroes are really going to lose much of any HP. Storm banned out here from mTw. Maybe they were watching the last game and saw the Storm played by Kranich and decided they didn't want to have to play against that. And Tulix, of course, was playing on that Shadow Fiend for that game as well. So now the last ban out here from SGC, we'll see what they're going to go ahead and take out. I mean, I still have to think that mTw is going to be wanting to pick up a mid and another support of some kind, or maybe even another kind of farm-centric hero, but we'll see. They don't have a carry just yet either. I mean, Nature's Prophet can be built as a carry, but I'm not sure if that's really going to be the case this game. He's typically more of just a ganker. I know some teams now are actually favoring reverting back to like the Midas and Ag style just to make sure the lanes are just permanently pushed, and Windrunner is actually going to be the last ban out of the game. So, I mean, a lot of strange bans. Juggernaut, Keeper, Storm, and Windrunner all banned out in the second ban phase, which is something that I can say, honestly, that I don't think I've seen, at least in succession like that, in the last couple of weeks. But at the very least, Morphling going to be picked up here by mTw. So this particular lineup already rounded out pretty much for mTw. They're probably going to be taking a mid for their last pick. Invoker's still in the pool. I don't know if we're going to see a Cinder and Invoker. I would kind of expect to see it at this point because he plays it so often and he plays it so well that I think that it's kind of maybe almost a mistake to not give him the hero because he's just so freaking good at it. But we'll see what ends up happening. Now SGC has 2 more picks of their own. Right now, it's going to be up to them what they want, and they're going to go ahead and take Enigma. So right now, we could be seeing a dual lane mid, could be seeing a potential of a long lane Enigma, which I think is probably more likely, depending on whatever their last hero is coming out from SGC. That's going to be what I have to see before I can really tell what their lanes are going to be. They're pretty hard to predict. They can do so much. I've seen long lane Sand King, I've seen long lane Enigma, mid Leshrac, mid Rubik, support Leshrac, support Rubik, support Sand King. I mean, there's just so many different things that they could possibly do. The one thing for mTw, though, is like they don't have any stuns. So that's kind of worrisome to a certain extent. They can interrupt with basically Adaptive Strike, and that's it. The Sand King Ultimate and the Enigma are both pretty much going to be able to go off for free every single team fight unless they get anything else to stop it. So I'm not really sure how they're going to be able to take early game team fights. I really feel like SGC kind of has the advantage in the early game. And the thing is, if they can snowball that advantage into some kind of tower killing and map control, then it's going to be tough for mTw to come back from that. They're going to pick a Brewmaster, so that's going to be their mid for sure. And now we're going to see that a Brewmaster is great for mid game. That gives them a lot more mobility against the Enigma Ultimate, so they can cancel out the Black Hole whenever they want. Of course, you can't hole Brewmaster aspects, so that's going to help quite a bit. We'll see what SGC is going to go away for last pick. They do kind of need a carry at this point. Not sure if they're going to go for the Fiend again. That was definitely fun to watch. Tulix played it in the last game, so that was very, very cool to see. And he went for, I think it was, what, BKB, like straight into Scotty or something like that. It was a pretty wild build. He ended up actually carrying the game with a ton of damage. And SGC has a lot of AoE. I mean, Fade Bolt, Leshrac, Sand King, Burrow Strike, Enigma. They're going to be eating a bit into their bonus time here. We're going to see what they're going to go for. About a minute left on the clock for them to go ahead and make a decision. And they need a carry of some sort, but we're not really sure just yet what it's going to be. Oh, wow, they're going to run Shadow Fiend again. So Tulix most likely going to be taking up the reins on that Shadow Fiend. I know I'm excited to watch it. I'm sure you guys are as well, as the last time we saw it was very, very good. So we're going to go ahead and pop into the game as soon as everyone picks up their heroes. 2 games out of 3, we see a Shadow Fiend out here. I mean, SGC, of course, 2 out of 2 games, if you want to call it that. But this is the 3rd game that I'm casting of the day, so I'm saying 2 out of 3. You guys can't stop me, darn it. But at this point, Tulix is going to be playing on that Shadow Fiend. Warlock going to be playing Enigma. Kranich on the Sand King. And Leshrac is going to be played by Offak. And then, of course, Pro going to be playing on this Rubik. Then for mTw, we're going to have Sakshka playing on the Venomancer. Kabop, of course, taking up the reins on that Enchantress. Funzy on Morphling. Cinderin playing on that Brewmaster. And then Bucking Med going to be playing on Nature's Prophet. The good luck, have fun to come out. Once again, guys, I want to welcome you to the 3rd game of the day. SGC taking on mTw in the second round of this loser bracket. The winner of this game will go on to face Enthused in round number 3, right before the best of 3 for elimination out of the tournament. Of course, this game is elimination as well. This is lower bracket, so anybody who loses this game is no longer in the tournament. The go comes out for mTw. Just a quick pause. Good luck. Have fun, SGC, from Bucking Mad. Hopefully we can have the game underway here in just a second for you guys, and I'm sure we will, as everybody seems to be ready and in order and that stuff, but nobody's actually unpausing. So not really sure what the heck's going on, but I'm sure they'll get it sorted here in just a second. At the moment, Sakshka already heading to the top lane with Kebab, so we could be seeing a potential aggressive try. Furion actually starting with wards. That's definitely interesting. Venomancer starting out with a lot of stats. He actually bought a Circlet, and he bought... Wow, is this actually going to be a farming Venomancer? This Veno is actually going to be pretty farmed, I would imagine, starting off with that build. We're going to see Tulex going towards middle lane on Shadow Fiend, so this is a little bit unorthodox. I mean, seeing a carry Veno, or at least an attempted carry Veno, I'm not sure if he's going to be going full support items or what he's going to be making, really, at this particular point. So we're going to see a Shadow Fiend and a carry, quote-unquote, Veno in this particular game. That's going to be interesting for sure. 2 heroes bottom right now from SGC. We got Rubik and Leshrac kind of walking around. We got Warlock down here as well on that Enigma. Venomancer, Kebab, and Nature's Prophet all sitting up here on the high ground, waiting for the rune to spawn. It's going to be about 15 seconds before the game gets underway here. I really want to know how this is actually going to work out. So Morphling going up again. Wow, look at the base damage difference. 66 comparative to 44. He hits 50% harder than the Shadow Fiend. 50%. How is poor Tulex going to get any last hits? Haste here, pinged out here by Kebab, top rune spot. Looks like they are going to be doing an aggressive try. This is so weird, though. They're actually going to double jungle. They're going to have Bucking Mad and Kebab both in the jungle simultaneously up against the Sand King and Leshrac lane. We are going to have Rubik making his way mid, so that's going to be how Tulex is going to be getting his CS, because Rubik's going to be fade bolting and stuff like that, being pretty annoying. Haste picked up here by Enchantress, going to be walking up to the top lane. I don't think they're really going to be able to do too much to this particular situation, though. Burrow Strike and Splitter with a very strong combination. They're going to be protecting their Venomancer, though, as much as they can, and it is going to be a legit double jungle, so they're going to go with the Centaur, spawn the Treants. Haste still popped here. They're going to spot out Kebab pretty much right away, so it looks like they're a little bit wise to what's going on already. That means that Cinderin's going to be soloing bottom up against Warlog, playing on that Enigma, and we already have creep cutting here by mTw. They're pulling the creeps away. Looks like they want to try to push the tower relatively fast, and this is basically a triple push hero lane. I mean, they have Venomancer, they have the Furion, they have the Enchantress as well, so they can pretty much tower it if they really want to. Gale's going to go off. Actually doesn't. Oh, it does hit on the Sand King. He doesn't have level 2 just yet, and that's going to be a quick first blood as Venomancer picks up the kill. Sakshka continuing to chase. Kebab throws out the enchant as well. Splitter's going to be up in 3 seconds. Can they spread out for it, though? Centaur continuing to chase as well. Can they actually get another auto attack off? He is still slowed from the poison sting out, and his health potion gets canceled as well. The Centaur is actually going to dive to its death, but that's going to be a very fast first blood coming out onto the Sand King. I can't believe the Gale actually hit. I thought the Burrow Strike actually disjointed it, but it didn't. So first blood on the board. Go ahead and pop open the CS here. Actually, let's take a look at the gold per minute. Oh yeah, Sakshka on that Venomancer sitting at 400. Huge bloated number because of the first blood at just under 2 minutes. So he's going to be happy with that. Sakshka actually going to go back now towards the tower. Crunch still sitting on level 1, almost level 2, man. If he had just gotten 1 rank into Sandstorm, he might have been able to live through that. But nonetheless, Venomancer able to land that Gale and secure them a very, very fast kill. Sentry Ward actually being placed down here too by Kebab, so no more vision down here at all. Very aggressive counter ward done here too, or I guess vision ward done out here by mTw. And Leshrac and Rubik and Sand King all up to this top lane. So middle, it's going to be Tulex taking on Funzy 1v1. He does have a couple of souls now, so he does hit pretty hard himself. He's going to be doing pretty well, but Morphling's still doing quite a bit of damage of his own. And I don't really know if this is really a good matchup for Tulex. Once he gets a couple more ranks into his raise, he might be able to play a little bit aggressive. But you can really only land 1 or 2 raises with a waveform. Like if he waveforms in point blank, then if you don't get at least 1 raise off before that, you're going to be taking just as much damage as he does from nukes. And then his right click is a little bit more powerful than yours early on. So he has to play it a bit passive, and you can see right here, Tulex is actually sitting very, very far back. Taking a look at the net worth, of course, Venomancer leads the charge with that first blood gold sitting at 1,240, followed by Morphling, who's sitting at just 1,200. And gold per minute actually kind of scaling down now for the Veno because of the fact that I mean, he just got that first blood. He only has 6 CS, actually. They're still doing a lot of creep cutting here, trying to apply as much pressure to this tower as they can. Sand King didn't start with a Stout, and when you have ranged heroes and no Stout trying to tank the creeps right there, you're going to be taking a lot of residual damage, and I think that's kind of what mTw is going for here. They just have Treants, Plague Wards, and a freaking Centaur over here, just cutting off the creep wave completely, and there's not a whole lot that SGC can really do about this. I mean, their heroes are so low level. I mean, all of them have stuns and things like that, but you're walking into a lot of stationary defense. You're walking into creeps. I mean, Centaurs are pretty scary at level 2 last time I checked, so this is a pretty tough situation for them. Shadow Fiend sitting super far back, by the way. He is level 4. He's sitting at 9 and 6 CS compared to the 17 and 10 now of Morphling, so Morphling pulling quite far ahead. Kranich walking off to the side in the meantime. He's going to go ahead and teleport bottom lane, maybe try to get a kill on Cinder, who does not have boots. He is going to make it down here, or he's just going to come down here and farm instead. And with Sand King leaving the lane, this could be a point now where mTw wants to try to dive. Bucking Mad does have that Bacillus. He's going to be walking into the tower. Now we're going to see a Gale go off onto Leshrac. Throws out the stun, doesn't hit anything but Treants, and now he's actually stuck inside. Sashka throwing out the auto attacks. He gets denied, though, by Rubik. Excellent deny right there coming out of the Rubik. Now we're going to see a teleport top out of Warlock. He is level 5. He has enough mana for his Malefice, but he doesn't actually use it. That was level 3. They might have been able to get a kill right there. Rubik hadn't even used a spell. He just threw out one auto attack, maybe just deciding against it. Not really sure what the deal was there. But now we're going to have Sand King taking on Brewmaster in the bottom lane. And then top lane, we're going to have Enigma now with Rubik and Leshrac taking on the aggressive tri-lane of mTw. At the moment, though, take a peek at the gold. I just want to know how this is actually working out. Looks like mTw is, of course, ahead on the gold department. Ahead in experience, too, so this tri-lane with the double jungle is working out to at least a certain extent. The only thing is, when you let the creeps pretty much walk into the tower, most competent players will be able to get pretty much all the farm from that. So it's not like SGC is really losing out too much here. The tower is already below half health, though, so that's the one thing that mTw has done a pretty good job of, is ensuring that this tower takes as much damage as possible. Sashka, by the way, picking up Arcane Boots, so they want to try to continue this push, taking a lot of damage from the Lightning Storm out of there from Leshrac. Gale going to go off Telekinesis on Sashka. Stun is actually going to miss because the Telekinesis brings him closer to his team, and he's going to be able to get away because of that. I can't believe that actually happened. Now Bucking Mad diving behind the tower, going to get Malefice as well on the top side. Centaur gets a kill. Kabop picking that up on the Enchantress. Sprout goes off onto the Rubik as well. Is Bucking Mad going to be able to get that? Looks like Leshrac gets a kill on the bottom side. Is he really going to die? Rubik drops 2, but Enchantress with a double, and the Venomancer Plague Ward. Excellent Micro right there from Sashka as he was dead. Turns his Plague Ward around to spit right there at the last hero on the top lane. And it looks like Furion dies as well, so pretty much everyone in the world just died right there. I don't even know what... I mean, that was definitely an awkward exchange, to say the least. 5-2, though, in favor of mTw. 24 and 16 out here for this Morphling still. 23 and 4 for Cinderin playing on that Brewmaster, so they're definitely still doing what they can. Highest CSs in the game, all on mTw at the moment. Sashka sitting at 24 himself, playing on that Venomancer. And this is the first time I think I've seen a farming Venomancer ever, at least in competitive play. No, I take that back. I think I've seen it once or twice outside of this. Sashka sitting at level 4. Gonna get close to level 5 sometime soon. Tulik's actually almost level 6. And he's buying... Oh, no, I don't think he actually bought those wards for himself, but he's setting himself wards because he's playing very, very scared. This Morphling pretty much having free reign in middle. 31 and 16 compared to the 23 and 13 for the Shadow Fiend. The rest of mTw, once again, coming up here. They're going to be able to spot out Leshrac with those Treants. Funzy with an Invis Rune sitting at level 6. Looks like they want to try to tower dive this. They're going to wait, though, I think, for Kabop. Venomancer now hitting level 5. Has those next rank of his Plague Wards up. Oh, Gale going off there. It does manage to hit on Pro. Funzy not in quite a good enough position to follow up with his waveform. Warlock not quite level 6. Doesn't have that black hole that he so desperately needs in this situation because they have 0 and up 4. Going to see a teleport coming in the bottom lane, or attempt it at the very least. And is he actually going to go in? And he will. Bucking Mad does go in. He does have that dust. He's going to get Burrow Struck, though. Unable to throw out the dust, so Bucking Mad throwing out the TP. Not really to much success. Funzy made his way back to mid. Going to continue contesting farm against Tulix right here. And it's going to be pretty tough for them to do anything. Lightning Storm being spammed up on this top lane. Leshrac trying to push mTw back. 5-2 still. And just under 8 minutes. Take a peek at the gold again, and mTw is still pulling slowly ahead, man. They're about 2,000 ahead right now at the moment, getting closer to 2,500. 2,000 experience ahead. Tulix sitting at 28 and 15. He's actually not that far behind. considering the fact that Morphling has a pretty decent early game advantage, but now the fact that Shadow Fiend does hit for over 100 damage in comparison to the 86 right now of the Morphling, he should be able to get pretty much free farm CS. Going to see a teleport up here on Brewmaster. He just hit level 7, so he has the max rank of Clap, has his Arcane Boots finished. Sashka up here has his ultimate. Ring of Health picked up on him too, so he's probably going to be going for a tanky build like a Quick Pipe, maybe even a Vanguard. Not sure whatever build he's going to be going for, but now we're probably going to see a huge dive here on this top lane. SGC going to be in a lot of trouble. Rubik trying to retreat. He does have level 3 Fade Bolt. Going to see his stun go off. It doesn't actually hit. No, that was a Lightning Storm. Never mind. Looks like the Shrek's going to die pretty much instantly. Ult goes off from Sasha. Going to go ahead and hit onto Enigma right here. And the Epicenter, not quite enough mana for it on Sasha. Burrow Strike in, but he's not going to be able to do anything about it now. Enigma flying up in the air. Kranich throws at the Sandstorm. Might be able to get away. Actually throws him up in the air yet again. Dust going to go off here. Looks like Furion finally made it to the party with a Sprout and the top side. Fucking Mad coming in. That's 2 more extra kills. Make it 3. Sand King, Rubik, and Enigma all dying right there. mTw looking so good in the early phases of this game. Every single hero but Morphling is in the top lane at the moment. First tier tower top going to fall. Tulix TPing his way towards middle lane. Funzy sitting on level 7. Tulix going to go ahead and chase him out at the moment, but it doesn't look like mTw is done just yet. They're going to continue to pressure this. Level 7 now on the Venomancer. So max rank of Plague Wards. Brewmaster level 8. Going a couple of ranks into stats. I'm actually not quite sure why you go stats if you're actually going to get Arcane Boots anyway. Typically you see at least 1 rank in a Drunken Haze if you're going the Mana Boots build because you actually have the mana to sustain using your Clap a few times. But going for stats anyway. Just wants to be a little bit more tanky. So I guess he doesn't die before he ults. That's pretty much the only reasoning behind it that I can think of. And I guess with that kind of reasoning, I suppose it's more than okay. And of course, mTw is still leading 9-2, 10 minutes into this game. Had the 2 highest farmers in the game, Sashka and Funzy, both sitting at 45 and now 46 creeps. 5,000 gold in mTw's favor, now 4,500 experience in their favor as well. Sashka trying to run away from this Rubik Leshrac combo. He does not want to have to deal with this. I really wanted to point out too that the fact that Lightning Storm was picked up here on Leshrac is actually pretty smart. Edict is not good against massive amounts of creeps and a tri-lane versus tri-lane because the damage is so split. So it's actually pretty intelligent for this Leshrac to end up going for the Lightning build. The only time that it's good to go Edict when you're playing against a lot of aggression is when there's not going to be a billion heroes and creeps standing on top of you because there's just too much damage being split. So I think that he made the right call here. He's trying to push the wave back as much as he can too. Counter pushing with Lightning is actually pretty effective. It's only a 5.5 second cooldown.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Sakshka still farming away in the woods. He's going to spot out Warlock here. Throws off the Gale. Warlock does have his ultimate, though. It looks like Furion wants to try to teleport onto this. He's actually not going to do it just yet, though. They don't have any method to interrupt Black Hole, by the way. 2 more members of SGC making their way through their jungle towards Sakshka up here in the top lane. Let's check on Tulix here in this middle lane. Sitting at 47 and 18, so he's actually almost fully recovered at this point. Haystern bottled up, finishing up his wand. Sakshka pulling out the Ursus here in the side camp. Bottom lane, Cinderin farming away down here as well, and he's almost got enough for his blink. He's going to have it in about 3 creeps. His ultimate's going to be up in 10 seconds, and I think that mTw is going to continue to push the pace. As soon as that Brew hits or gets his ultimate back up, I should say, then they're going to want to go and try to fight as much as they can. Telekinesis up on here, Funzy, and we're going to see, wow, okay, he just died pretty much before I could say anything that happened, but yeah, Telekinesis, Split Earth, couple of raises, Fade Bolt. That was a very dead Morphling. It's a good kill there for SGC. Teleport coming in the top lane, going to see Venomancer ult pop as well. Warlock going to TP back to base. Sashka taking quite a bit of damage here from the Malefice, able to live through it. Sends himself pretty much a full drum now, so Drum, Ring of Health, and Mana Boots here finished on Venomancer. Leshrac making his way back towards mid like he wanted to try to counter push here. Kabop sitting on level 7. 1,400 gold saved for him. Not sure if he's going to go for the quick point booster. Some people tend to go for the phase boots. Some people go for the treads. Some people go for drums. But of course, drums already picked up. So, Kranich going to be walking right by. Oh man, Blink or Burrow Strike right into an Epi right here on a Kabop. Going to see the Telekinesis go off as well. SGC picks up another kill. Kabop going to be the first one to drop now. Bucking Mad in a team fight. Nice double wave form there from Funzy. Can actually get Kranich. He doesn't do quite enough damage, and Morphling is going to keep chasing down on Tulix right here. See if he can actually get one more wave form up to the high ground. Malefice goes off. That looks like it's going to eventually stop him. Warlock coming in. Can he actually get the Black Hole off? Brewmaster is still... Oh no, his ultimate wears off just as the Black Hole comes out. Excellent timing from Warlock. It looks like somebody just healed a little bit there from the wand. And Leshrac going to be dropped there from a couple of right clicks from the Brewmaster. Now Warlock in a lot of trouble himself. And it looks like ultimately mTw is going to come out on top of this team fight. Really good timing, though, on the Black Hole. Warlog going to eventually make it back to his Tier 2 tower. That was a really strange engagement. Sand King waddling his way back to the base with essentially no HP. Tower, middle lane, Tier 1 taking quite a bit of damage. mTw picks up another tower kill. And interesting to note, SGC has yet to get a tower of their own. And looking at the towers right now, Tier 1 bottom, pretty much full health, and actually 100% full health. So that's kind of hurting SGC at the moment. They don't really have a whole lot to push. And it's funny because you see Leshrac and Enigma and you're like, how can you not kill a tower? And it's basically because mTw decided to tri-lane them with a very unorthodox style.
Messy middle.
I mean, it's pretty interesting. I haven't seen anything like this, at least in a very long time. I don't know if I've ever actually seen anything quite like this at all, actually. So I'm not really sure what to make of it just yet. But mTw is, of course, winning here. They're 10-5, 14 minutes into the game. Go ahead and take a peek at the gold. And, yep, 7,500 in their favor. 5,000 experience in their favor. mTw trying to take as much map control as they can away from heroes like Shadowfiend. Once they get their BKB up, they're very, very tough to deal with. As bottom, looks like Kranich managed to secure himself a haste rune, which is going to help quite a bit. Funzy in this bottom lane going for a straight BKB, picking up an Ogre Club. Tulix sitting on basically just a Wraith Band and Treads at this point. Sashka going to be going for a full hood bottom lane. Burst Strike onto Funzy. He's converting his strength. Oh wow, he managed to get the waveform off after the Fade Bolt goes out. He's still converting his strength. Is he going to be able to make it? Blank in from Cinderin. Kranich still has that haste rune though, and that's going to be a stolen clap. Funzy taking some damage from that. Now we're going to see a teleport in from Furion. Funzy trying to run away in the back of the fight. Sprout goes off. Rubik in a lot of trouble now. No impetus being cast just yet. And there's one. There's a clap. Blink in from Cinderin. And Venomancer getting the kill. So killing spree right there for Sashka playing on the Venomancer. Funzy living life on the edge. Barely gets away. And now, I mean, SGC has forced a reaction that now they're going to lose this Tier 1 bottom. I don't really think they can do anything about this. Sand King does have Epi, but he doesn't have Blink. He lost his haste rune. And with the kind of push potential that mTw is bringing to the table, this tower is not long for this world, my friends. I think it's going to be going down here in just a couple of seconds. mTw looking really strong in this game so far. Going to see a waveform up here, actually, onto Leshrac, who ends up TPing back to the base. Sand King off to the side here does have his Epi. Can he actually line it up, though? That's the thing. Looks like mTw is going to go ahead and back up instead. Or, actually, no, they're not backing up just yet. We'll see if Funzy's going to make his way over. Got some pings out here towards the top lane. Kranich apparently telling his buddy Enigma to keep pushing this top tier tower, which it does look like he is going to do. Has some conversions out. But look at the army out here for mTw, man. Plague Wards, Treants, Centaurs. Oh my. That's pretty much what this is about. This is a very, very tough situation for SGC. They really can't defend against this. They have a decent amount of spam, but I mean, they need pretty much everyone there before they even get to the tower to try to fight it. Cinderin going to go up here to the side shop or secret shop and pick up his point booster. Kebab has a point booster of his own, not choosing to finish his boots. Pretty standard stuff, though. Sand King going to be farming away until he gets closer to his blink. He's sitting at about 900, almost 1,000 gold at the moment. 72 last hits, by the way. The leader on the board at just 16.5 minutes. 73 now and 4. Of course, coming out of the Brewmaster. Morphling right behind him. And Enigma right behind the Brewmaster, or tied now, I guess you could say. Everyone's pretty close in terms of overall CS in this game. There are 3 people within 2 CS of each other, or I guess 3 technically, which is pretty unreal. That just means that everyone's getting a really good amount of farm. Oh no, Warlock going to get caught out here just a little bit. We're going to see a Malphus go off onto Funzy, actually, and he's not going to try to black hole or anything like that. They actually have no interrupts, so I'm not really sure why Warlock decided to not go on that. Maybe they were expecting TPs. If Furion was right there as well, and it was daytime, so maybe just playing it a little bit too passive there. I think they might have been able to kill Funzy. We're going to see smoke up, though. Can they actually catch him? Rubik going to try to get the telekinesis off, and nope, we're just going to see the waveform out. So, Morphling getting away once again. Going to be pretty happy about that. Funzy actually doesn't have any kills right now. It's only 0-1-1. So he's been involved in 1 kill, and he's died once. So he's not really been contributing a whole lot in terms of team fight. But, oh, Radiant actually lost their courier right there. Looks like they lost it in the jungle here. Tulix took it out with that aggressive ward. I didn't actually see that courier flying down. Cinderin going to go ahead and TP top lane. He does have level 2 ultimate. We'll see if mTw wants to actually engage into this Kranich. Of course, not at its blink just yet. About 500 gold away. Yell going off here. Blink in from Cinder, and that's going to be an immediate clap and ulti. And oh yeah, Leshrac not making it out. Warlock tries to TP, but that's going to get canceled by the boulder coming out of Cinder and Earth Aspect as well. So 2 quick kills coming out from mTw. Wow, the Air Aspect actually quite fast when it windwalks right there, throwing the Sand King up into the air. Gonna look for a stun to the high ground there from Kranich, and yep, there he goes. Can he get the boulder off? Nope, doesn't look like he can. Plague Ward not up to the high ground in time. Treant's trying to scout, but it's not gonna be enough, so only getting 2, and Leshrac is already alive again. He is only level 6, so he dies quite fast, and resurrects quite fast as well. Sakshka sitting at level 10, almost, actually he has his pipe finished already. Holy cow, he is farmed. Pipe, drum, mana boots, 4 kills, 83 CS at just 18.5 minutes into this game. Tier 2 top, and a lot of trouble being pressured here by mTw. Looking to see some kind of a reaction out from SGC. They're in a position to push bottom at least. Kranich is doing what he can. He will have his blink probably after this tower. Bottom ends up dropping, but it's so high health, he's actually going to dive past it as top tier tower is going to fall. Kill taken there by Furion. Yep, Kranich just creep cutting here, trying to make up for whatever lost gold he can, trying to sideline push. They know that it's going to be really tough to fight, but on the bright side, Cinder doesn't have ult, so if you're SGC right now, you're like, okay, we need to try to get a decent black hole off and try to take this team fight. Enigma going to be so heavily relied upon for that ultimate in this next team fight. Cinder actually collapsed the creeps right there, or the conversions. Malphus going off onto him as well, and he's going to be forced out of the base, at least for the moment. Funzy actually on full retreat at the moment. BKB is finished on him. Bottom lane, Kranich trying to get this tower kill. He does end up getting it. Burrow strikes through Bucking Mad, and he's going to be able to make his way back towards his side of the map and teleport back to base, so he's going to be just fine. Blink now finished on him. Should be picking it up in just a second. There we go. And remember, guys, these are all best of ones. So this is pretty much a you lose, you go home game. There's going to be one more best of 1 round after this, and then a best of 3. Again, the winner of this game is going to go into round number 3 of the losers bracket to take on Infused in the round 3 of the losers bracket. So looking forward to that game as well. Sand King almost level 2 epi, sitting at level 10. And yes, this is a live game, by the way, just so you guys know. This is SGC taking on mTw in Cologne, Germany at Gamescom for WCG/SE. It's pretty much kind of the same thing. Interweaving, I guess you could say. Bucky Mad going to teleport back to the base. Has his mech finished. Has his... Oh, he's going for Necronomicon. There we go. He has a Staff of Wizardry and a Belt of Giant Strength. Not opting to finish his boots either. Apparently no one on mTw's side, basically from the 2 semi-carries, like finishing their boots. Brewmaster getting very close to his Ags as well. He's got his Ogre Club picked up. He's only about 700 gold away at this point. Morphling getting a regen rune in the meantime. Funzy sitting on level 12. Check over the net worth really fast. Wow, Sakshka actually leading the board at the moment, picking up a point booster on top of what he already has, which is, of course, that pipe and that drum. 8,300 total gold. I mean, he's even out farming a Furion. That's pretty insane. I mean, I know Furions and competitive games don't typically spam their ultimate for creeps and whatnot, but that's still very, very impressive. And then everyone else from mTw, of course, all pretty much at the top. 7,900, 7,600, 7,300. Big smoke up, though, from SGC. They're going to spot Kabop out here. Kranich with the blink in. Is he going to go for the Burrow Strike? They're actually looking at the replicate. Oh, no! They kill the Courier again, but they go. Oh, no. Funzy going to get Split Earth immediately after. Nice ultimate coming out from Tulix, doing quite a bit of damage, but who's actually going to come out on top right here? Leshrac doing quite a bit of damage with the Pulse Stone. It looks like it's going to be a 2 for nothing at the moment, as 3 are already down for SGC. Rubik, Enigma, and Leshrac all dying. Kranich going down as well. So much AoE damage as Shadow Fiend twirling up in the air, going to try to TP out, and that is not the kind of a smoke that you want to see. They Burrow Strike on the illusion right there, killed the chicken, but the replicate completely fooled SGC, and Funzy even got caught by the follow-up Split Earth, but they just couldn't do enough damage. They just could not do enough damage to seal that. So mTw takes it pretty much 5 for 0 right there. Now Funzy auto-attacking down Roshan. And wasting a big initiation stun like that. I mean, Sand King really couldn't even use his ultimate right there. It wasn't even up, so... Really tough situation now for SGC. 18-5 at just 22 minutes in. Once this Roshan drops, it's going to be even more in their advantage. Funzy picking up the Aegis. Has that BKB finished for that last team fight, as we just saw it used there. Enigma, like... I don't even think I saw a black hole. It must have just been like immediately canceled. I was just looking at the Pulse Nova damage. Shadow Fiend got big and yellow and made his Requiem come out, and pretty much no one took any damage. Mech popped, pipe popped. There's just so much absorption coming out from mTw's lineup that SGC's kind of burst damage style isn't that effective. Nature's Prophet, farming away. Does have his Necronomicon level 2 finished. He has the recipe and the stash at the moment. SGC trying to do what they can. Turtling up in their base. It's going to be pretty tough to come back from this, though. 18-5. Take a peek at the gold. Yeah, 15,000 gold. 12,000, almost 14,000 experience. This is looking pretty rough. They really need that Shadow Fiend to be a lot bigger than he is right now. I mean, he does have 111 CS. He's the second highest CS farmer in the game. He's sitting at 2-1-0, so he's been involved in 2 kills out of the 5 that SGC has, which isn't too bad considering he is the carry role in this game. But he needs to be as big as he was in the first round game that we casted earlier. I mean, he was absolutely huge, and he had probably a worse start than he had this game, you know? But, fortunately, they do have him farming quite well. Ooh, bottom lane. Kranich living life on the edge here. Gonna be able to blink out. Cinder chasing him down. Is he gonna get the Drunken Haze off? Oh, Adaptive Strike from long range. It does manage to catch Kranich. He's gonna have Burst Strike up here in just a second. Is he gonna be able to get out here? Sandstorm, Burst Strike through the trees, and blink should be up. There we go. He's gonna get caught out though by Kebab. See if Kebab manages to get a slow off. He does. He is level 10. He's gonna do some damage with the Impetus. Sandstorm is going to be able to disjoint that damage though. So he's gonna be able to get away back to base. SGC really needs to make something happen. I mean, they had a good idea with that smoke, but it just, well, what else can you say? Did not work out for him at all. Warlog farming away here in the jungle. He has his mech finished. 113 CS. 4th highest in the game. Shadow Fiend, now the leader on the board. Tulix doing a nice job of keeping up on his farm. Nature's Prophet, highest right now for mTw, sitting at 132, and then Morphling right behind him at 129. Nature's Prophet, 460 gold per minute. And of course, he had the Midas, so it's not really a surprise that he has the highest PPM now. Necro Book 3 finished on him. Man, that's going to be really tough to deal with, too. I mean, that's going to spot out the Sand King even more. Now they don't even really need to worry about Dust. You can't even blink Sandstorm in with your Epi anymore. You're going to get caught out by the Necronomicon. If you accidentally kill those Necronomicon minions, too, you take a ton of damage, especially once that thing dies. True Sight, of course, and the 600 pure damage whenever you kill it. mTw pushing down middle lane. Let's see if SGC can actually defend this. Fable going off to minimize the damage done by the Treants. Lightning Storm pop as well. It's a lot of spam. Gonna see an Adaptive Strike from the low ground. Funzy heading Warlog. They're doing a bit of trading here, but this tower is still dropping slowly but surely. Funzy taking a lot of damage. He does have that Aegis, though. Malefice being popped. Oh, man, blanket from Cinder, and he gets a triple clap, and there's the Brewmaster initiation. Now we're going to see Warlock pretty much completely disintegrate in the back, though. Tulix throwing out his ultimate to try to stop any follow-up that he can, but look at how much damage he takes, even with the BK Beyond. He's just not tanking enough. Here comes a Blink Burrow Epi. Kranich with a nice Epi, but it's just not quite enough. Buybacks all over the place. Looks like Shadow Fiend buys back. Nice Black Hole coming out of Warlog as well, hitting pretty much 3 heroes and Funzy, too, so make that 4. A nice waveform in there from Funzy in the meantime, managing to pick off Rubik, who also buys back. So buybacks all over the place. Everyone still alive from SGC. Buybacks all over the map. Funzy now trying to run away, converting his strength. Waveforms back in, manages to kill Warlog. Fable is going to go off. Replicate is out, but is he going to be able to get out of base in time? Funzy's still manning up here. He doesn't even want to get out. In the meantime, Furion manages to get a kill on Sand King. The melee Rax falls too. mTw is still inside the base. Sakshka taking raise damage, but the pipe just mitigating too much of that raise damage. Now Tulix on full retreat after it gets clapped out here, and he's going to get Drunken Haze as well to continue his retreat. Now Sakshka is still inside the base, and Fable goes off, but it's not enough. And he slithers out of the base with his saggy little eyeball things, or whatever the heck those are. 25-6. Double buybacks. Like, did anyone from SGC not buy back? I'm pretty sure that, like, every single person bought back almost. That was ridiculous. So, mTw takes the mid-racks. No matter how many buybacks you have, you apparently cannot stop the push that is this very, very farm Venomaster and Brewmaster to boot. Vlad's, Ags, and Blink now on Cinder and getting close to his level 3 ultimate. Nature's Prophet sitting on top of his ultimate orb and Necro Book 3. So he's going to be making that into an Hex sometime soon. Ogre Club picked up by Leshrac. Going to be going for the BKB. Enchantress sitting on top of an Ogre Club of her own and her point booster working towards her Ags. Funzy going to be getting that Ethereal Blade sometime soon, I would imagine. Only about 150 gold away. Sand King has his blink finished. Has level 2 epi now. He had a pretty good epi. The hole from Warlog was great once they got back up. They just didn't have quite enough follow-up damage, man. I mean, just... They don't have the right click that they need at this point. They need physical damage, really, to take out mTw. And I think that's where the drafting has kind of slipped away for them a little bit. Because with the pipe and the mech so fast out from mTw, I mean, Furion had the mech really fast. The pipe was done as a second item for Venno. Venno, by the way, also has an Ags of his own. So he has 1,500 health. Ags ult does a crap load of damage. Yeah, the cooldown on Scepter 2 is actually quite short, so once it gets to rank 3, it's only going to be 1 minute cooldown. He's going to be able to pop it whenever he wants. Kranich sitting out here looking like he wants to try to go on Bucking Mad. He's going to go ahead and walk back to base, though, instead. Think better of it. mTw grouping up here. Wants to push into the base. Somebody is sending themselves an item. What is it? Nope, just a TP. Fuzzy doesn't actually have his Ethereal Blade just yet. TP in here from Furion. Everyone from mTw is currently in bottom lane. And they're missing Tulix at the moment. He does have a TP, though. He'll be able to get back relatively soon. And Rubik's still waveform, so that's going to help him out a little bit. Fable going off. We'll see if he wants to waveform through and try to stop this giant amount of treants. And Fable actually makes them hit for almost nothing. Cinnamon going to come in from the low ground. Lightning Storm going off, trying to push the rest of the treants off. And once again, Cinnamon goes in right on top of Leshrac. He pops the ultimate. There's nothing his team can do for him. He's just pretty much going to die. It looks like Enigma gets tossed into the air. Kranich taking so much damage from that fighter aspect. And now Warlog is going to come down. Tulix not popping the BKB just yet. Going to wait for the ultimate. There we go. He actually pops a raise instead. Here comes the ultimate. Blink Epi coming in from the side. Just not doing that much damage. No one actually dropping yet from mTw. Black Hole does go off. Only really hits Bucking Mad, though. And that's going to be one hero down. But he immediately buys back into the game. And it's Nature's Prophet. Triple kill coming out from the Morphling as Funzy and Bucking Mad both going back into the well just in time to kill the Shrek, and that is an ultra kill for the Morphling. The second set of racks are going to fall here. mTw looking absolutely phenomenal in this game. I don't think that they wanted to be losing this game particularly because it is an elimination game. And they've shown it again right here why they're one of the best teams pretty much in the world. And there we go. Good game. Well played. Comes out of SGC, so they are done, guys. mTw moves on, and the losers bracket going to be taking on Infused in a best of one, so look forward to that game. Once again, my name is Draskyl, casting all these games for you today on behalf of NEODota.com. If you like the cast, feel free to follow us here on Twitch TV/NEODota. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, all at NEODota 2. We'll be uploading our VODs of all these casts there if you want to rewatch them or watch any stuff that you might have missed. Thank you guys again for watching. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with some more Dota 2, so stay tuned.